What's up, world? It's your girl, Sheree Robin, Simon & Schuster bestselling author, editor, ghostwriter, publisher, word nerd, literary coach, all of those crazy things that make up the wonderful boss bae. That's a badass editor that I am, right? And I'm super excited. I'm like 1,000 levels past excited because I get to talk about this really new technology that has hit the marketplace, is going absolutely berserk. And as an editor, as a writer, as an author, as this word nerd that I am, it is so important for me to get in here, understand the system, and explain it to you so you know what the heck to do with this thing, right? And of course, I am talking about Chat GPT. Now, I like to call mine Julio. I call it Julio because sometimes I get tongue tied and I mess up chat GPT like I was about to. And so Julio works for me. So I like to call mine Julio. Okay. So let me give you a little backstory. Right before, maybe about right before Christmas, my sister, who is smart as all outside, my sister in love, she calls me and she's like, girl, you gotta see this. You at your computer? I'm like, yeah, I'm at my computer. So I type this in and have a look. And so I go and I type it in and I have a look, and this very smart like chat box is present, and I ask it to write me a quick poem about a dog. And so it writes me a poem about a dog. Okay. And then I say, well, write me a short story. And I type it in and it writes me a short story. And I'm like, well, hold on a second. Wait a minute. Stop the presses, because what is happening? Now, right out the gate, immediately, initially, as a writer, I'm like, whoa, hold on, wait a minute now, because what's happening? But the editor, the nerd in me is like, oh, wait a minute, hold up, because I'm a good writer, but I'm a damn good editor. And so having this tool that writes for you allows me to maximize my productivity like crazy. I mean, like beyond anything that I could ever think or imagine. I'm talking about in the last, I don't even know, 2 weeks that I've been using this system, I have like quadrupled my output, right? What I've been able to create and produce. And so, and so there was something on my board, right? There was something on my to-do list that I really, really needed to do. And I had gotten to this place where I'm like, I'm just going to have to hire somebody, right? I'm just going to have to hire someone to do this, because I, for the life of me, though I'm an editor, I'm a writer, I'm a writing coach, I'm a ghostwriter, I write for a living. I could not for the life of me sit down and write these daggone emails that needed to go to the thousands of people on my email list, no matter how hard I tried to get it done. There was always something else more pressing. We got 2 writers going to print right now. We've got 1 writer that's in the final stages. I got the bays working on multiple projects. I got a fiction writer who don't know what to do. Like, there's so much stuff that's happening. I was like, there's no way for me to get this done. In walks Julio. Okay. So Julio comes into the equation, and this thing simplifies what it is that I needed to do. I'm in record time. And so in one afternoon, right, we're talking 2, maybe 3 hours max, I was able to get 15 emails, 1 5, 15 emails completed, done, written, right? And so I want to show you how this happened. I want to show you what it is that I did, because you can do it too, because anyone can do this. Now you might need an editor, right? Everyone's not an editor, but essentially the goal is to get your message in front of more people. And if you're a business owner, that is hard when there are so many components of running a business and so many hats that you wear. And so to have this software come in and for it to understand, again, as a writer, and as a writer, a educator, right, a coach, all the things that I do, the fact that this system is smart enough to recognize the difference between a poem and a sonnet and a script and a screenplay and an email and a YouTube script, right? It understands the mechanics, the things that make up a specific type of writing. And so it can then produce that type of writing, and it understands adjectives and descriptive words. So if you want to change the type and the style of writing that's there, you can do that. And so I'm like, let's play, right? I'm all in, because that's the nerd that is me, right? So I'm all in. I'm totally committed to this thing. I've been playing with this thing for weeks, and I wrote a whole book using this software. And don't worry, I'll teach you. I got you. There's a lot of people that's great do this. we'll get to that part. But for now, using it to increase my productivity within my business has been game changing for me. So I want to show you just really simply what I did and how I use the system to help me. So the first thing, right, that's vitally important is that to remember that it is a computer, right? It is software. So it does not have human emotions. It does not write in a personal perspective kind of way, right? It writes in a tech kind of way unless you feed it certain things, which I'll be teaching very, very soon. So you have to come to this with information. And so because I've had this on my to-do list for forever, right? I have an entire email, excuse me, a whole Google document of all of the emails that I need to send. Right here are the nurture emails. Here's this email. Here's this email sequence. This email 5 should do this. This email 6 should give away a freebie. Right? I got them all mapped out, but I didn't have them written. I didn't have them written down. So I came to Julio and I say, Julio, sir, I need to get some stuff done. Okay. So I'm gonna show you what I did. And let's get to Chat GPT, right? So first I have my email list, right? Here is my list. Here are the things that I want to write about. So I'm coming to this equation already having done a significant amount of research on my audience. I know my audience. I know what they want. I know what they're after. I know what's troubling them. I know what their hangups and their hiccups are. And so for me, I was very intentional about writing content that spoke to that specific audience. And so me knowing my audience, I came into Julio and knowing that I wanted to, let's say, pick a specific email that says, okay, let's do this one, how to find a good editor. So I'm going to come into Julio and I'm going to say, write a 200. Let's give it a little bit more. We need a little bit more depth. 300-word email about finding a good editor. I'm be specific though, for a nonfiction manuscript, okay? And we're going to let him do his thing. And we're going to sit here together, you and I, and watch this email come to life, okay? So now it's going to put together this email for someone. So, oh, wait. So look, I'm so excited because here's the caveat. Look what it did. It said, because I asked it about finding us a good editor, right? Let's do this. I'm going to let it finish, right? So now if you see, it's asking for recommendations on how to find a good editor. Can someone help me find an editor? Because that's how the machine interpreted it, right? But if we rewrite as an email, giving tips to new authors on how to find a good editor. Let's give this a shot. Now, here we go. I want to provide you with some tips that may help you. Here are the tips. Right here is the information. And so it's going to create this email right in front of you and simplify this process for you like crazy. Now, for me, what I can do, because I have the knowledge and insight about as an editor, right? I know what this process looks like. I can even add that into the prompt. Write an email that includes these steps. Write an email that details this specific component of this process. And now I allow this to do the work that it's going to do. I copy and paste this into a Google document, review it, edit it as an editor, right? Because this isn't my content, my original content, though it is original, right? It is the computer's content. It's Julio's content, his ideas, the things that he's come from all over and pulled together to create this kind of content. And so I don't want to put anything out that I have not reviewed. And so I review it. Right? I go through it thoroughly. I make sure that it's accurate. I make sure that the information in here I can validate and back up. I'm not going to put something out that doesn't stand for what I stand for or give you advice that I don't actually practice. And so that's a big part of it as well, is allowing it to create, right, as a writing tool, as a writing assistant to get the legwork done. And so then for you as a business owner, as a creative, you can eliminate that part. right? And then look at your emails, go through them, and make sure that it speaks to your audience the way that you want it to speak to your audience. And so there are also tricks when it comes to using Julio, right? To do that, to add certain adjectives and descriptive words in there, certain prompts that allow it to pick up more of your voice, right? And it is a learning software. So it cut my productivity time in half. Right. I'm talking about, I can't even say half because this was something that's been on my to-do list for years. Right. I was at the point where I'm ready to hire someone to write these emails for me. And now we have emails 15 in one afternoon. Right. So I've got a month's worth of content to share that took me less than 3 hours to create and produce. And because of the consistency, because now it's going out to my list like clockwork, right? Now my list is more engaged and I'm giving value to my list on a more consistent basis. So they're getting good stuff because of this too. I check it first, right? I'm not just grabbing it and here you go, right? But my list is getting good stuff. And what happens when you keep giving people good things, they keep opening your emails. So now my open rate has doubled. The amount of people who are opening my emails has now doubled because of this influx of value and information that's coming to them because of this system. It is a game changer, right? It's absolutely revolutionary. Like I said, initially I freaked out as an editor, like, oh my God, all the writers are going to be out of jobs. And some will be, right? There will be some people who this is going to remove the necessity for you, right? As an editor, I'm thankful, right? I'm thankful that a lot of the work I do comes in the end, right? A lot of the work too also comes in the beginning, right? It comes in actually sorting out your ideas and making sense of what you have to say. And that part has to happen before you even go into using this system to help you do anything. You have to be really clear about what your goals are, what your intentions are. And so that developmental part, I still do, right? And then at the end, the system itself will tell you that you still need an editor. You still need an editor. So I'm thankful for that. But that part, right? Trying to find a copywriter, having someone write these emails for me on a consistent basis, done and done. Done and done, baby. So I suggest you get hit with it. Play with this thing, get involved with it. And as I play with it more and learn more and more about it, I will be here to share more of that valuable information with you so that you can use this to maximize your productivity as a writer, as a business owner, right? As a mother, right? All of the things that you need to do, this system can help you do that. And I will be teaching you more and more about it as I learn more and more about it. Okay? So stay tuned, be blessed, and I will see you guys again soon.